Now we're moving on to the next portion where we'll talk about the fall of Hollywood.
How are you feeling about how James Gunn is?
I love it.
I don't
it's
really
great.
like it. I know a lot of people liked the Superman movie. I didn't particularly like it. I think
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch Supergirl. I don't watch none of it. I don't buy into nothing from the corporate globalist commies.
I put out a huge tweet regarding Superman, and I got a lot of pushback, but you know what? I don't care. Those were my thoughts about it. I didn't watch Peacemaker. I didn't really care about that character. I didn't even like the Suicide Squad movie that
Same.
when that came out.
I don't like none of it. 2016 and onward, pretty much all the superhero stuff I was out on.
So there's a lot of projects.
Is that 2016? When did Suicide Squad come out? That's when it started falling off for me.
That James Gunn has done that I haven't really been on board with it, just because they don't feel like DC movies. I think that he is trying to do it in his own way and kind of Marvelize everything. And I think that there needs to be separation between DC and Marvel. I feel like with DC, it almost feels a little bit darker and a little more adult than some of the Marvel. A lot of people might disagree with me, but like that's how I.
But it's not working. I think they need to go into the like campy, less expensive looking style with more heart and soul. Go back to the 90s DC, but like make it more cohesive, coherent. Doesn't have to be all in the same universe. It can kind of just exist in the same universe and not be interacting. Marvel, it gets a little crazy, you know. Don't have to do that. You can have smaller movies. What do they call it in Marvel? Small potatoes?
I've seen these two properties growing up. And Supergirl was probably the worst movie that I have ever seen.
$72 million domestic, $126 million worldwide, less than Morbius, less than Joker 2.
Yeah.
Waller has been canceled. Paradise Lost, which is a Wonder Woman Themyscira prequel, canceled. Booster Gold, canceled.
Who the fuck cares about any of that?
Poison Ivy and Catwoman shows didn't even get accepted, could be rejected at the stage.
Yeah, what?
And now what we're seeing is that they're getting backlash because they got caught using generative AI to do Lobo concept art.
Yeah, how about that?
Yep. Like they completely.
The left likes to they like to say that they hate AI, but then the leftist corporations, they just use it anyway. It's all fake. It's all pandering nonsense, virtue signals. Because really, at the end of the day, they're all doing the things that everybody hates anyway, or at least the people they're pandering to. And they're trying to keep it a secret. And nobody's really talking about it.
Privated that video on their YouTube channel
it's gone.
because of the backlash that they were receiving. And I also read somewhere that like he's using it AI for Man of Tomorrow.
I mean, I'm sorry, but they're using it these days.
They are.
They are. The thing
but
is, they don't want you
they're
to
using
use
it for like the script.
But the leftoids hate it. They hate AI. But they love Hollywood. It's crazy, man.
It's in the writer's room of DC. And like that shouldn't be happening. And to me, I'm wondering if that's why.
I'm fine with it happening if we're getting good content out of it. But we're not. Because they're pandering to the people who hate all of this shit. And it's hilarious.
Movies are just so terrible. because they are using AI to help them out write their scripts. Like, is that why? What is her name? Is that what Sophia? The writer for the Supergirl movie.
It was Anna Nagira, was it?
Anna Nagira. I don't know why I was thinking Sophia Nagira. Anna Nagira. I honestly question like whether or not she used AI to help her.
Well, you'll never know because you don't have anything else ever written as a.
And they're gonna lie to you and say that they didn't, because if you don't have any proof, then they don't have to say it.
Comparison, because she's never written anything.
That is true.
She didn't have any other credits to her name, and that was the. And here's the thing, guys. The thing that benefits me with these movies is, especially when I go in with low X, I usually end up, it's fine. And I think that Millie Alcock is a fantastic drunk actress. I think she did drunk very well. I think she had good physical I think she does good physical comedy.
Hancock was better
With her movements in those scenes.
It was like a female version of Hancock, or a feminist version of Hancock, from what I could tell, because I didn't watch it.
And
I just heard people talking about it on YouTube, because I would much rather watch my favorite YouTubes talk about a shit movie than waste my time watching a shit movie. And I'm definitely not paying money for it. I barely pay money for things that I like.
In general, I thought that the movie was... I think I gave it like a B- or a C or something.
Oh, you were
like that.
incredibly generous.
I am the most generous movie critic in history. I love everything.
Yeah, but it can't afford that. It can't afford B- or a C from somebody who likes everything. It needs to be absolutely phenomenal for everybody and make hundreds of millions of dollars and even billions of dollars. And they could have easily done that. But they're all a bunch of weirdo woke freaks working on this. They pushed out all the people with talent.
I loved everything but The Crow and Wonka. Those are the only two movies.
Oh, I loved Wonka.
I've made the point. I said,
oh, dude, I love the old Crow movie. I even love Crow 2. I even love the bad ones. And even the bad ones are better than the latest Crow movie. What the fuck was that? It wasn't even really a Crow movie.
If I was in a better mood when I saw Wonka, I probably would have liked it. For some reason, I was like, I don't think they had my drunken fries, and I was just in a bad mood. I bet you if I rewatched it now, I would end up really, really liking it. But for the most part, I am the most forgiving critic. I give everything, yeah, it was fine. There are some movies that I really, really love, but Supergirl was it was ugly looking. The movie looked gross. It looked brown and yellow like a toilet.
Yeah.
But it was, as far as I could say, I would never watch it. But that's how I feel about even the stuff I like. I usually don't watch it. Like, I rewatch old stuff all the time, but I don't rewatch a lot of new stuff. I think the only stuff that I've rewatched, I rewatched F1. And it wasn't the same because it really was meant to be seen on the big screen. And weirdly enough, I've rewatched Equalizer 3 like 3 times, and I have no idea why. I think something about the fact that it was filmed on location in Italy. I really, really like that. It seemed like a character in the movie. But look, guys, these studios, they're using AI for everything, and they are actively working to stop you from using it by shaming you because they don't want you to have access to the same technology that they do. And that's the sad fact, is that they're going to be using it every stage of the movie making. Do you consider it more of a problem in script writing as opposed to just like there's a vast difference between the storyboarding, mock-ups of characters and then actually using it? Does that matter to you, or do you say don't use it?
I think the corporate freaks need to not use it at all because they don't know how to use it properly. They're cutting corners. Try and save as much money as possible so they can still spend as much as possible on bullshit. Usually just tech demos because they're just playing around. Like, look at this cool thing that we did. Doesn't it look awesome? Check out the behind the scenes of how we did it. We did all of this work and spent all this money to do this thing that we've never done before. Or we did it in a different way. It's so fucking stupid, man. The new Halo remake did that. They were like, check out all these new technologies we used. But then the game is shit.
As far as storyboarding, sure. That's I guess you can use it in that stage. The way that they were...
Okay, that's enough of this one. I think they're just going to keep talking about Hollywood and the tricks that they use. Really, it was about the Lobo situation. Check out Pop Culture Crisis, though. It's a cool show. Vera Dark's on there sometimes.
You've heard me blabber on about physical media a lot over the last year and a half, maybe even 2 years or so. And more recently, everyone's been jibber-jabbering about physical media in light of Sony coming forward and publicly...
I've really been talking about this since Gamergate because of DLC and whatnot. But now it's extended over into physical games, which, if you were paying attention back then, people like me, we called it. We called it all the way back then. We knew it was going to happen, and we knew that children were going to grow up in this, and they're going to just be accustomed to the culture and think that it was always normal.
Goat-seeing the entire gaming space, letting you know that physical media is for the birds, kick rocks, pussy, we're done with that garbage now, and then hit kickflip on the way out about all.
And you get a lot of people that are defending it because they don't buy into the physical games, so they don't care, but they're willing to defend Sony and corporations, probably just because they're just playing online. They don't care. They just want the attention.
Digital being the future, you will own nothing and be happy type shit, something Ubisoft openly talked about.
They want attention even if it's just one person to argue with because they're bored.
As well, about how gamers need to be more comfortable not owning their games. Just a bunch of hoopla and hoo-ha that's really popped off, mainly thanks to Sony puffing on their cigars and gloating about how they're banishing discs to the Shadow Realms. The plebeians will have to deal with this future. But the writing's been on the wall for a while. This isn't out of nowhere. It has been gearing towards this path.
Yeah, and either become DRM free if you're going to have an all-digital future, or you're going to have to compete with free. Because let me tell you, if free is going to be a better service than what you're offering, that's the route I'm taking.
For a while, and it's not something I've been enthusiastic about. So I've been going back to the old ways, the primal living, the way our forefathers used to play video games, engage with entertainment. Tangible, physical shit you could take a bite out of it.
I don't do that. I don't got no physical games. Well, I got a few. I got 360. But most of my games are on drives, and I unconventionally acquired them.
I'm talking ancestral origins. Like going across the Oregon Trail with just your Game Boy in hand. So yeah, I've been building a very vast physical media collection, predominantly games right now, because a project that I'm working on with Nick, our engineer friend, is a black box gaming console for me where it can just play every single game all in one spot. Basically like a codenamed Kids Next Door gadget where I can pop in an Xbox disc or a Nintendo 64 cartridge and be able to just play it instantly, so I can utilize all of my physical games in one location, make it really convenient. So that's reaching its final stage here, and I can't wait for that. It's not something we're selling or anything, it's just for me because I've been building such a library, and I want to be able to stream all of these too, so it'll obviously like boot.
Yeah, and people will watch it because you're showing it off, and I will probably watch it because that sounds cool as fuck. And more people are going to be doing this, and it's just going to become easier and easier to do this.
Through emulators, which I think is the most important component to preservation at this point. But anyway, the point
That's the route that I take.
I'm making is I am a big physical media advocate, and today I got sent this headline here about the old digital future boogeyman rearing its only head up and the consequences of it. A PBS station has taken legal action after losing access to more than 50 terabytes of programming and archives spanning 70 years of television history.
Thank God all of that is available online that people are unconventionally acquiring. So what I predict is they're going to have to search and pirate their own content. Oh, the irony.
It claims its files became trapped after its cloud storage provider apparently went out of business. Now, Louis Rossmann did some coverage of this, and it's a far more insightful deep dive into something that goes beyond just like digital future, boo, bah humbug, digital only future. It actually showcases a very common incompetence in like these businesses, even ones like PBS, where people that are paid tons of money just don't even really seem to be doing their job or even know how to do their job, because this is so incredibly preventable what happened to this PBS thing. They just decided not to make any backup. Why? Yeah, I want to show you some pieces from the Louis Rossmann video. I recommend you check out the full thing. I'll, of course, link it in the description. But there are so many times where this could have just completely been sidestepped here. Like, yes, digital only super sucks. Like, I think it's very clear that I'm not a fan of the direction all this is going. But in this instance here,
I don't mind digital only, like I said, if it's DRM free, but honestly, that's not going to happen. Obviously, it's not going to happen. So physical it is, I guess. Or, competing with free.
This goes beyond just like digital only bad.
There's a local PBS affiliate in St. Louis that lost about 50 terabytes of stuff. It doesn't seem like they had a local backup. The reason I'm saying it doesn't seem like they had a local backup is because when their cloud provider for their data went defunct, instead of just walk over to their local backup, which is free, they went to court. And going to court requires a lawyer. It takes a lot of time. That is not something that you do if you have a couple of hard drives sitting by where you could just grab all yours. So they're claiming that they lost about 50 terabytes of stuff that goes back about 70 years in the community of
What a bunch of fucking lunatic idiots.
Of all this different type of coverage, and they're saying that they don't have access to the data on the hardware of the servers.
Exactly. It doesn't seem like they had a local backup, because if they did, they probably wouldn't be jumping through all of these.
Well, it was easier and faster. I guarantee you, whatever 60-year-old lady runs that place, that's exactly what she was thinking. We have to get on board.
Legal hoops to get their paws back.
Put
on
everything
data
in the
that they've lost
cloud.
here in this
It's more secure.
circus with their cloud storage provider, which is baffling considering this is a PBS station. Now, of course, there is a lot of confusion that I've seen people thinking this is like, big boy PBS. This is a single station, but even still, they do have a lot of money and a lot of moving parts there. They are large. And even your average Greg Coleslaw is someone who is probably just backing up their shit anyway, because that's just a standard practice. So you would think for a business like this, a PBS station.
Well, they went woke and they got rid of all of the actual competent people. Happens every time.
That would be something
I wonder how many feminist women and men work at that place.
that the IT
Bunch of
department
fucking commies.
would make a priority
They're
to
incompetent.
ensure that this kind of thing never happened. Because this is something you can always at least imagine happening. It's fucking cloud storage provider. Like, there's always the chance that things get rocky. There is a chance that shit like this happens. There's no reason why you should 100% believe that it's always going to be sunshine and rainbows and you'll always...
Oh, we're using AI to manage all of our content, all of our videos now, so we can keep it organized. Oh shit, the AI accidentally deleted everything that we have. It's these kinds of morons that do shit like that.
always have access to that, so it all goes on one singular location. Why would you not have backups just for safety? Just
they're
for peace
stupid.
of mind, even. Like, that is an important redundancy that I think would be, like, a priority for any company, really, especially one of this size. Yet, it doesn't appear that was the case, which is so fucking wacky.
This PBS affiliate was renting cloud storage from open source storage, but open source storage does not have their own servers, their own racks, their own hard drives. Open source storage was renting space from Iron Mountain, which is a data center. And it looks like OSS went out of business or they went defunct. From what I read here, they were not able to communicate with them, and also they had a delinquency status with the Colorado Secretary of State. So most likely they are going out of business. And it also looks like that OSS did not renew PBS's contract, and that they actually give you about 30 days to grab all your stuff.
There's not a whole ton I can find on OSS, but from what I can see, there is some
OSS, you mean like from Spy Kids?
weird stuff that was going on with that company in particular, like being sold or not, that
Also, wasn't OSS an actual like government organization that was predating CIA?
kind of stuff in this weird limbo. And it's something that I feel should have been painfully obvious to the IT guy at PBS that they were paying six figures to, that maybe being ghosted should be a strong sign that
Just because there is an IT guy who knows stuff about IT doesn't mean he's not a complete retard.
it's time they download their own data and have this backup just in case things go tits up. But that come to Jesus moment, I suppose, never dawned on him.
This is from the Ars Technica article. 9PBS most recent contract with OSS ended on March 6th. 9PBS said it couldn't get a response from OSS about renewing the contract in February. The station claims its contract gave it 30 days to retrieve data at the end of the contract. However, 9PBS says it abruptly lost access to the data when the contract expired. The contract, okay, first things first here. If you are trying to renew your contract and they are not allowing you to renew your contract for 70 years of your data, the first thing that you fucking do is you run out immediately. You do not pass go, do not collect 200, run to Best Buy, run to Walmart, and grab as many hard drives as you can. Plug them into the
If you can.
computer and start downloading your shit immediately. If you know that you do not have your data anywhere else but one server, one company that is no longer accepting your money or extending your contract, that's a 911 level emergency.
Yeah, you don't
Probably the IT person wasn't supposed to be an IT person, and that's all they had left, and they took over the position, and maybe even learned the position as they were in it and actually had no idea what they were doing. I could see that being a possibility. Because who the fuck wants to work at some random PBS studio that's completely wokeified?
Have to be John computation to figure this much out. It's not the most complicated
Oh, yeah. Corporate bureaucracy at its finest.
puzzle ever. Just put the square in the square hole. All of your data for 70 years is in one location, and that location is now not answering you, is not letting you renew. You don't have it anywhere else.
Where did you have it before? We haven't had 70 years of cloud storage. So you deleted the previous backup? What the fuck?
How could that possibly not trigger the alarm bells? How could you still be de-aggroed and
Where did the other 50 years go at least?
not recognize the huge glaring issue there? Like, this is, you're going to see the salary in a moment. This is someone who was paid six figures. This is their tech savant, their tech god, who this should have been a priority to ensure can't happen, just somehow lets it fly by the wayside, and now they're caught with their dick in their hand. It was so easily preventable. Like, this is what I'm saying. Yes, digital only sucks. And when there's this blind trust in cloud storage to just have everything forever for you, it's going to lead to problems like this.
Where did the originals go?
But this was so easily avoidable if they had just done like the very basics that people are doing every day, normal people, not even companies, of backing up their shit. Just having these safeties, these redundant, and somehow someone who's getting paid six figures can't do it or doesn't think to do it. That's so fucking weird. And I think this is my own little personal theory here, my own little game theory. I think a lot of the people that are getting these companies, like these tech positions, are able to just kind of bullshit their way in there. And they just look at cloud as this buzzword and it'll take care of them no matter what. Everything's okay. Cloud, 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 that kind of thing. And they just don't, like, they don't actually do their job. Like that's kind of just the impression I get.
Looking at their 990, we can see that there is a chief technology officer that makes $179,000 a year. Now, while this is not, I'm buying my own island to compete with Epstein, I'm going to have a bunch of Bentleys that change colors like MC Hammer outside my house,
No, but you're living quite comfortably with that.
level salary, that is enough money that somebody was there.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about life if you're making that kind of money, especially in a position like that where you don't really have to do much because you put it all in the cloud.
That has some sort, that should have some sort of technical know-how to the point that they understand that if we have 70 years of our data on one server and that company is no longer responding to us, we need to download that shit right fucking now.
But I guess not. Six figures wasn't enough to get him out of bed to take care of what is a very clear issue. I don't know what their job even entailed then in that case. Like, maybe their job was just to go around.
Hell, man, I'll take that position. Like, seriously, hire me. I'll do a better job. I'm actually pretty good at IT. I run my own shit for fun.
And like turn computers off and on when they were experiencing problems, and that was like the extent of their technical or maybe they open a command prompt and like they just start clapping like, this guy's good. Like, I don't know, because how are you getting paid that much money and don't make backups just for safety? Like, even without all of this happening with OSS, why would they have not just had backups just to have it, just in case?
The originals. What happened to them? Did they destroy them? I think so, probably.
Like, I feel like that's just a very standard, or rather should be a very standard practice for companies of this size and that have been around for this long with so much important, it just doesn't make sense. And I think, again, it ties back into my theory. I believe that a lot of people that are getting these positions, like these tech positions, these companies, are really not fit for those jobs. Like, I don't think they actually know what they're doing.
When people say, well, this is what happens when you don't fund public media appropriately, is $179,000 a year not enough to have a competent tech professional that understands that storing all of your data on one server from one company that is no longer responding?
Yeah, not if that $179,000 individual can go work at a better company. They would even take a pay cut to work at, because nobody wants to work at fucking PBS.
to you means you should start downloading it immediately? Is that too much to ask?
Rossman then goes through the financials of this PBS station, like what they bring in per year, and it's a sizable amount, sometimes millions. So even just setting aside the salary of this position that definitely should have had this control, this station did have enough money where it is really kind of inexcusable that they wouldn't just have their own backup. Like, it's pretty ridiculous when even just normal people are having, like, tons of terabytes worth of backups for their own shit. Like, you can get a 20 terabyte hard drive for about $700 right now, thing Ross as well. So it really is just super ridiculous. Digital only future is bleak. That sucks. In this case, it's a combination of like digital only, like this blind belief in digital only being the only path forward, and also just gross incompetence from the IT guy that is paid tons of money that just decided not to do his job and not go through like the most obvious protocol.
And that's where we're gonna end today's show. I usually will have more. It will be a longer show. This was my first episode. I didn't know how it was gonna go, and it was quite successful, but I was kind of late on it. I had to fix some things. This recording took 4 hours, but altogether it took about 8 just to get this one episode. It won't take that long next time. I'll have this going smoothly, perfectly. Be sure to like this video. Share it with every single person you've ever met in your entire life. And I will see you next time when I have all pieces of the show completed. And I'll see you in episode 2.